Setting up a foundation in Dubai can sound complex, but the first real question is that how long does it take to actually set up the foundation? Because timing does matters. Delays can cause pressure, missed opportunities, or plans that no longer line up. You'll hear different answers. Some says it might take few days, some says it takes a few weeks, others say that it takes many months. The timeline depends on how prepared you are and how the structure is planned from the start. So in this video, I'll explain the real setup timeline, what usually speeds up the process, what causes delays, and how to plan it properly so there are no surprises. Before we start, my name is Shiraz Waheed and I'm the co-founder at Lepidus Wealth, where we help our clients with asset protection and succession planning. And if you would like our help in doing the same, you can request a free and customized asset protection plan using the link in the description below. Well, the first thing to know is that there is no single fixed answer. A Dubai Foundation setup has several steps, and the speed depends on how well prepared you are from the start. But there are some very clear patterns, and if you understand them, you can avoid most of the delays. If documents are ready and everyone responds on time, the process moves more smoothly. Delays usually comes from missing papers, slow replies, or changes made along the way. However, in practice, the timeline can stretch due to document collection, international signatories, banking arrangements, or last-minute legal reviews. Now let's walk through the stages so you know what to expect. Every Dubai Foundation setup begins with planning and consultation. For many clients, this stage is about more than ticking boxes. It's where you make your goals clear, choose the right structure, and confirm who will serve as founder, guardian, and beneficiaries. This part can be fast if your requirements are straightforward, or take several meetings if there are people or assets in different countries, family members to involve, or multiple advisors as well. For a single founder with a clear plan, this stage can move quickly. For families with more complex assets or people in different countries, this stage usually takes longer as everyone needs to agree on the structure. Once your objectives are clear, the actual application process starts. The main documents needed are the foundation's charter, bylaws, KYC documents, and details for all the key parties. Dubai regulators are efficient, but their standards are high, especially for anti-money laundering and compliance. If you or any involved party is a resident of a country that banks see as high risk, or if the structure is unusual, expect extra questions or document requests. For well-prepared clients, collecting documents and completing forms can move smoothly. If certified copies, overseas documents, or updated proof of address are needed, this stage can take longer. After submission, the regulator reviews the application and completes the checks. This step moves forward once all information is clear and complete. If there are no complications, such as pending background checks or clarifications, you may see your new foundation gets registered. This stage is also when fees are paid and the regulator completes their background checks. When everything is clear and complete, these steps move forward without unnecessary back and forth. But there are few areas where delays can occur, and these are worth highlighting. First is that any mistakes or missing details in the application will almost always trigger a request for clarification or additional documents. Something as minor as a mismatch in the passport number, an outdated proof of address, or missing notarized document can stop the process until corrected. Second is that if any of the parties, founder or council member or guardian, is located overseas and is slow to respond, days can be lost due to time zone difference or slow couriers. This is especially common with family offices where the beneficiaries are scattered globally, or with founders who travel frequently. Third is that if there are last-minute changes to the structure, for example, substituting a council member or updating the foundation's objectives, these will need to be redrafted, approved, and sometimes notarized again. Each of these factors can add anywhere from a day to over a week. One key area that many clients do not expect delay is the compliance review. Dubai has built a reputation for clean, well-regulated structures, and this means background checks are strict. If any party involved in the foundation has exposure to sensitive industries, high-profile litigation, or comes from a jurisdiction flagged by the FATF, additional checks can be triggered. Most routine clients pass this stage quickly, but if extra background checks is required, the regulator may request further information or references. This can add extra time to the process depending on the questions raised. For this reason, I always recommend full transparency and upfront disclosure. It saves time and shows regulators you are prepared to cooperate. After successful registration, the process may not be over. If you plan to open bank account for the foundation, either in Dubai or offshore, you should allow extra time. While the foundation itself is usually established within a few weeks, banking is a separate process and local banks have their own requirements and risk appetite. Bank onboarding often takes time as banks carry out their own checks and reviews. The exact timing depends on the structure and the bank involved. International bank accounts can be faster if you have pre-existing relationships or slower if compliance checks needs to be repeated. There are few special cases worth noting. First, if your foundation is being set up to hold assets with extra rules based on foundation charter and bylaws, expect the bank and sometimes the regulator to ask for extra documentation. These scenarios are more complex with additional checks or legal opinions sometimes required. Second is that if your structure involves nominees, protectors, or complex layered entities, the timeline can extend as each layer is reviewed. This is especially relevant for clients using offshore companies or trusts as part of the foundation's structure. Third, if you are using a professional corporate service provider in Dubai, their experience makes a noticeable difference. An experienced provider will expect questions, review documents for completeness, and submit applications that are more likely to be accepted on the first attempt. In our experience, the choice of the advisor is one of the most overlooked factors in the setup timeline. In practice, timelines vary because every client situation is different. Factors like document readiness, number of parties involved, and how quickly decisions are made all play a key role. When clients ask how long to allow for a Dubai foundation, we advise them to separate the legal registration from when the foundation is fully active. The legal registration is only one part of the journey, and it usually moves faster than the operational steps that follow. The operational phase, which includes opening the bank accounts, onboarding with investment managers, or taking title to assets, is where most of the time spent. Planning ahead, preparing documents in advance, and choosing the right advisors are three key layers to keeping the timelines short. One final point is worth considering. Dubai's regulatory bodies, both DIFC and ADGM, have invested heavily in digital platforms and efficient processes. This is not the case in many traditional offshore jurisdictions where paper documents, slow couriers, and backlogs are still common. Dubai's commitment to digital onboarding, e-signatures, and real-time document checks means well-prepared clients enjoy some of the fastest foundation setups in the world. For busy families, entrepreneurs, and professionals, this speed is not just a convenience, it is a genuine competitive advantage. In practice, when you look at planning, registration, and compliance checks all together, most foundation setups takes around 4 to 6 weeks from start to finish. If you are planning a foundation for asset protection, succession planning, or family wealth, a little groundwork upfront helps a lot in speed and certainty. And if you want our help in setting up a foundation in Dubai or succession planning in general, you can request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link in the description below. Well, that's it for today, and I will see you in the next video.